So I just wanted to give you a brief background on this new project, the Honda Hawk, that we're going to start airing videos on. Been working with my neighbor, who's handled as Mike the Bike, for about the last 4 or 5 months on this project, trying to get all the parts collected up from his vast inventory of motorcycle parts and accessories. And by the way, someday we'll need to make a video on that, because it's really interesting on all the inventory he has. But quite honestly, I got to say that I'm a little intimidated, because I've never attempted a project of this scope before, a complete rebuild part by part from the frame up. So now I'm ready, and I think it's going to work out real well. I'll have some consulting from Mike the Bike, and I'm sure YouTube videos, YouTube University, and I think it'll just work out fine. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, the day has finally arrived that I'm going to start my Honda Hawk 1989 rebuild project. No, this is not the Hawk I'm talking about. This is my neighbor's Hawk, who I've done a little bit of work on it, some carb work. I started out on VFRs, who I bought off my neighbor also. And now, after putting 2 VFRs, this one's a 96, I believe. And then the one I'm currently riding right now, this is a 94. So I've got both of these running. The one over there has some starter problems that I got to fix, but love riding these VFRs. But after I did the carb work on this Hawk, I rode it a few times and really enjoyed it. So my neighbor, as most good neighbors do, asked me if I wanted to buy a Hawk off of him. And I said, oh yeah, sure, let's do it. Well, I bought the Hawk off of him with a Florida title, but here it is here. There's the motor, and here are all the parts and various totes separated by category. Got the chassis, which I'm cleaning up now, getting it ready to start the initial assembly. I've got the swing arm here, which I'm taking apart now. I'm not really taking apart, just getting it cleaned up before I start reassembling it. So now, since I made the decision to jump into this project, I honestly don't know how long it's going to take. I'm a fairly new mechanic. I don't even call myself a mechanic. I can turn some wrenches, but I haven't been doing this very long, but I love it. So let's take a walk over here, and we'll go through some of these totes. I've got some sprockets in here, some mirrors, nothing big there. Wow, in here. This is mainly, I believe, engine parts. There's some cylinder heads, timing chains. Luckily, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about replacing cylinder heads, because this motor here, it turned over for us, put some Marvel Mystery Oil in it, fired it up off a battery, and it turned over quite nicely. It's got good compression, so I think we're good on that. Oh, okay. Wiring harnesses, throttle controls, all kinds of goodies in here. Yeah, that's gonna when we get to this part, it's gonna be a nightmare trying to sort through which wiring harnesses to use, which ones work, which ones don't. But that's part of the fun in here. here. Oh yeah, I already showed you this. We got some carburetors and some different competitive sprockets there. I think these are racing sprockets. Not that I'm going to be using them, but yeah, these are all mainly set in these spark plugs, 3 carburetors. All right, and this one we've got a couple of radiators, which I'm sure I'm going to have to take down to the local shop and get them tested. Radiator fans. Oof. Yeah, these are rough. Headlight casing. Yeah, mainly radiator parts in here. Alright, I'm coming over to this box here. Some stators, a couple 3 stators here. Turn signals, voltage regulators. I have to test all these and find out which ones are working and which ones aren't. Some more mirrors, tail light, there's ignition switches, throttle controls, more electronic components down there. Another stator. Gosh, 3 or 4 different stators in here. Some cables, throttle cables, brake cables. So as you can see, I've got quite the selection. I'm going to save this box for last because this is all OEM Honda parts that he's had for years, still in the original containers or packages. All right, in here, a crankcase, some starters, shock. Go through this. I haven't seen this yet. Different front sprockets. Super trap. Okay, those are all the muffler fittings for this super trap here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not, because I've got another stock muffler. Alright. What I got? Brake lines, gas caps. Oh, here's another set of handlebars. Oil line. Different components in there, electrical components. Here's the referring for the Hawk down here. And that's a VFR radiator that I had fixed. Took it to the local radiator shop. They went through it for 60 bucks. So I had them do 2 of them. Got a stock muffler up here. Some exhaust pipes. All right, so let's just briefly go through this parts toast and see what's in here. I know there's a lot of different stuff. And one of the things that I am having trouble with, I managed to find myself a service manual on eBay. Got it shipped in here, which is good. I prefer the old style. I know you can get them electronically, but I like the paper ones. But trying to find diagrams for part explosions for all the different components, I'm having trouble finding that so that I can cross-reference, get some part numbers. But check out all this stuff here. I mean, just all kinds of parts. Now, just so I'm clear, all these parts are not mine, only the parts that I can use. But just going through these real quick, there's a fiberglass repack for a super trap. It looks like some gaskets. More gaskets, not sure what that's from. Some of this stuff. Got bearings, fork seals. Gonna need to keep those out. Gonna need those. Let's see. There's some more high performance clutch springs, cartridge fork system. I don't want to keep that out because I might need that. Going through some of these, but here's some more bearings. I don't want to bore you to death because there's a lot of repeat stuff here, but just to give you a feel, these are all factory OEM parts. Looks like a brake handle. And a brake handle there. See, that's why I was looking for something with a parts explosion so that I can see what parts I need that are in here, because I have all of them here. Hopefully, I won't have to buy a whole lot of stuff. What is this? Inner fork bushings. Yeah, keep that out. Clutch. All these OEM clutch plates. Some more springs. Yeah, I think you kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. So we're done with the show and tell, so let's go ahead and get started on this project. Mike actually was telling me an interesting story about a buddy of his back in the day who purchased the Hawk, and it was delivered in totes, and they affectionately called it the Tupper Hawk. So from this point on, we're going to call this project the Tupper Hawk 2.0. If you're interested in following the progress of this project, please subscribe, hit that like button and the notification bell. We'd really appreciate that. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.